What's up, all? I think I'm live. Um, Let me know if I'm live. I believe I am. This is only the second or third one I've tried to do these, so still getting my feet wet. Oh, I'm getting yep. There's my mug. Cool. How is everybody? What's going on? Happy Saturday to you. Let's have a chat. Let's have a chat. Who's with us here? Reverse Prime. Yo, you were in there early. What up, Reverse Prime? John B. Happy to be here with you at a more reasonable hour. All my friends in the UK, that includes John and Rachel. Lucinea, hello. Miss Val, howdy, howdy. All you wonderful Europeans. Miss Vanessa Joy is here. Emma Allegro is here. Howdy, everybody. I am. Before it's February, and that's bonkers. And so before the next month got away from me, I thought, well, shoot, let's have a little gratitude for the past year, 2022. And as you know, I'm trying to put more acting lifestyle, acting career tips out there on the YouTube here. So I thought, well, shoot, let's take a look back at 2022 and have a little chat about the wonderful projects that I was able to be a part of that came out. Maybe just go month by month for the whole year and just kind of review what my acting year was like. You know, there's no 2 years alike in this wacky industry, this wacky profession. So it's always worth taking that journey and revisiting it. It's something that I do every January 1st is I just really reflect on the past year, what worked, what didn't, what were the successes, what did I learn from the misses, near misses, failures, etc. You know, that old adage, you either win or you learn. So appreciation for the dubs, but then also, you know, what did I learn from the things that didn't go my way or didn't go so well, or what's the where are the places to improve. So I'll say hi to a few more people and then we'll take a walk down 2022 memory lane here real quick. Miss Faye, hello. Brandy Velez is with us. Yeah, Lucinea is there. Ana Paula, Hamdan, Nika. What have I done? There you are. You like Christmas Cabin? Very cool. It's cool to see that movie still making the rounds during the holiday season. So thank you for sharing that. Miss Scarlett is with us and Lynn Curtis. Hello, Rita. And yeah, Scarlett, thank you for the screen grabs. Apparently, Sniper Ghost Shooter, which is a film that came out in like 2016, 2017, that just got released in a bunch of international territories, I found out. Y'all are wonderful for keeping me in the loop because I never know when and where the movies will drop. But that kind of skyrocketed to #1 in like 18 different territories and is the fourth most watched film overall on the globe on the Netflix, according to some article that I found about it. So that's pretty cool to hear. It's nice to see when a movie that's like 8 or 9 years old still resonates with people. So that's the power of the Sniper franchise, everyone. And I'm grateful to be the lead role in that. Miss Juliet, hello. Zeke Salvador, how you doing? Sylvina's with us. All right, let's dive in. I tried to put together a little neato folder here just for some screen share love about the year. I'm gonna experiment with that and see how badly I screw it up. But let's see if this works. Bear with me, friends. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Enough being sneaky. Let me share screen with you. Hold on a second. Screen share. Share screen. Screen 2. Let's shrink my head. And let's put this up on there. So 2022 saw the release of a film I shot in 2021. So about a year later, it came out. A movie called Assailant, which is really fun. It was one of 2 movies I shot down in Nevis and St. Kitts, down in the Caribbean, which was an absolute blast in 2021. This movie starred Casper Van Dien, Jeff Fahey, my co-star was Poppy Delevingne, and just a wonderful group of people. It was the second film I did in a row there after 1 year off. And it came out, it was on video on demand. I can't remember what platform it dropped on. I don't know if it was dropped on a specific platform, but you could buy it, rent it. I'm not sure where it's airing now. Oh, Redbox. It was picked up as a Redbox original. So you could go to Redbox and pull it out of a kiosk. When I was visiting my family in the Southeast, we went to a grocery store and saw one of these Redbox kiosks, and it had Assailant front and center on it, which I thought was pretty cool. What wasn't cool is that there's a Redbox at the 7-Eleven convenience store down my street, and they didn't have it. I don't know how the Redbox works, but go Southeast for carrying our Assailant film. So this was great. This was like a psychological thriller. Casper played, as you can tell by the picture, a very deranged stalker who was hell bent on teaching me a lesson because I was a bit of a jerk to my lady, and he decided, you know what? Let's stalk this couple around an island and threaten death and harm on them and see how they do. Luckily, no spoiler alerts, but with a little help from our friend Jeff Fahey, our captain for hire, did the good guys win anything? I don't know. I don't want to say anything for those who haven't seen it. I think most of you have seen it. So again, thank you for watching that. But had a blast with Casper. What a great dude. Me and Casper spent an entire day filming ridiculous amounts of stunts. It's hard to call them stunts because basically it was just him kicking the absolute crap out of me up and down stairs, across the dirt, kicked over a couch again and again and again and again and again, which was a blast to do. And we were all bloody and bruised and battered from that epic day of just stunt work. But couldn't have been a sweeter guy. I loved working with Casper. I'd met him years before that at a Halloween party. He was wonderful. Him and his partner Jenny, and they're just fantastic to play with, not only on this film but get to know him a little bit better while we spent time on the island. Jeff Fahey, that was the second movie I'd done because he was the lead of 1 year off, and I got to shoot that rom-com with him before going into Assailant in 2021. So it was awesome to have him in a completely different role. He's just such a great classic actor. I've always been a big fan of him. So yeah, Assailant was great. It did really well. It was really well received. Tom Payton was our director. He was fantastic. I hope to work with him again someday. And of course, we're shooting in the Caribbean. So, it really checked all the boxes. It was a very grueling shoot, a lot of action. And it was basically like 3 leads. And so we were shooting every single day for like 3 weeks, long, hot, sweaty days. But I think the proof is in the pudding, and it turned out really well, and people seem to dig it. So that was fun. There's that. Yep, there I am. That's Jason. That's me. Kind of a dick who redeems himself by the end of the movie, but it was a fun character to play. It's not often I get to play characters that are on the wrong side of arse whoopings so frequently as I got in this movie. So it was kind of nice to be victimized, terrorized, and then try to make good on it all at the end. So it was a really, really fun character for me to play. Fun fact about that, and maybe I talked about this previously when the movie was released, but originally they had asked me to play the Michael role, the psychopath role that Casper eventually signed up for. So there was some jockeying around of different characters. Eventually I slid into this Jason role, the protagonist, and it was a really fun fit. And I can't say enough about the cast and the crew, MSR Media, the producers, who had me down there on this one. So it was a really great experience, really fun. That came out, I think, in like April of 2022. And that kind of set off a string of really fun releases of movies that I had filmed. And so we'll get into the next one that came down the pipeline, which was Dead Zone. And look at it. I'm back in the big screen. So Dead Zone was fun. Dead Zone was a movie I did over in Colorado, which is really, really great. God, what was it called? I always forget the name of this place. It's just over the border of Utah. Anyway, we had fun. I was over there for a week doing this film called Dead Zone, which was like a military action horror film with, again, Jeff Fahey. It's like 3 films in a row I did with Jeff Fahey in 2021, which is fantastic. And Michael Jai White, the original Spawn, kick-ass martial artist, fantastic actor, really cool dude. So we came and did this movie together in Colorado. And let's shrink me to a tiny head, man, and put the poster up. So this is the poster of Dead Zone, which is really cool. This was a Tubi original release. Tubi's a free movie platform that's out there, and they picked up the rights. And again, for all the international supporters out there, I never know when these movies and where they're going to come to your country, your territory, or whatever else. I wish I had that for you. I get asked that a lot. I just, I'm not privy to that information. It's not above my pay grade, as they say. So hopefully, if it hasn't come yet, it will come soon. I'm sure it will. International releases are such a big part of the entertainment industry now, and so I have no doubt that one day it'll appear on the shelves or on a streaming platform near you. So this movie is fun. I got some really cool gear, as you can tell. It's like modified, like motocross gear that they did all these fantastic modifications on, helmets and stuff like that. It was really fun because it actually looked like my Alex character, the automaton skin that has always been a favorite of mine, in the way that I was just really suited up to prevent radiation and to prevent the zomzoms from chomping on us. So that was a really, really fun costume to kind of get into. It took 2 people to get me into that damn thing every single day. So I was going to get it on myself. So that was a really great experience. Jeff Fahey came and played with us as kind of our team leader on our little Mission Impossible. Go in, save a vaccine that could save the planet and the human race, get the heck out of there before everything goes foobar. So this was the still when they did. That was kind of a hero shot, fun thing we did, walking down a runway in an airstrip. That was the shot they put in like Deadline, which is an entertainment industry trade here, and part of their promo materials and stuff like that, which is a pretty fun shot. So that's me in the middle. On the right, of course, is the legendary Michael Jai White, who's just an absolute beast of a man, but a super kind, super nice guy, very talented guy. And to our left, Antoine Torbert, who is he's starring in Young Rock right now. And he's also a beast of a man, but a total sweetheart. And so we had a great time working with Hank Braxton, the director, and introduced me to some guys at Automatic Entertainment who produced it, who I love very much and hope to do more projects with. So that was really fun. That came out, I believe, in like May. And then in the fall, there was like a New York Times article saying, these are 5 must check out horror films. I was like, that was pretty cool. That was pretty fun to see them picking up our little movie that could there. So that brought us through May, which is fun. So I had kind of like 2 back-to-back releases, which is really great. I love when that lines up. And then, summertime rolled up, and I did, I don't know which came first. I did 2 conventions. I don't have any pictures that I uploaded here, but I did 2 conventions. One was the Magic City Comic Con, which is a little con down in Birmingham, Alabama, which is really, really fun, where you probably saw some pictures. I was hanging out with Alex Ponovich and Dan Payne, Canadian actor, and Carlos. Oh my gosh, what's Carlos' last name? Fantastic actor out of Florida. We had a really good Ming Chen from the Kevin Smith World, Comic Book Men. There was a bunch of John Lee Brody was a cool dude. Justin Cookslane, I'm probably butchering his name, but there was some fun talent there that I got to hang out with down for a really, really fun weekend. Sean Jarvis, who's a big, fantastic member of our community, he came down and spent some time with us as well, which is really cool to see him because he was in the area roughly. So he got to take in a con experience alongside of me. I also met Kyle Paul, who always pops on the stream. We've yet to run a game together, Kyle, but I see you, bro. He came in full Alex Kit cosplay, which is really fun. I think I posted some pictures of that too. So cons are great because you get to meet amazing people like that and make new friends and hopefully play video games together and stay in touch. So Magic City was fun. It was a small little con, but it was really, really cool to meet the people local to that area. And then, I went to I went to San Diego Comic Con, which, of course, I did a bunch of videos on. We got invited through a company called Streamily, which does live autograph signings, fan signings. So we were down on the floor in the booth at San Diego Comic Con. It's been the first time I'd gone like pre-pandemic, and I'd go almost every single year. I'd gone every year for like 6 or 7 years because I just love it down there as a fanboy, as a nerd. But they invited us to come and do some live signings, which is cool. Many of you were there and popped in the Instagram live we were doing. So we had a really fun chat. You got to meet my good pals Jeff Teravainen, who's got a long list of credits, wonderful Canadian actor. And then, of course, you know him, you love him, Mr. Martin Copping, Australian actor who's in Call of Duty Vanguard playing Lucas Riggs. So we had a blast. You know, we're doing some of the industry parties and mixers at night, and then we were walking the floor and signing autographs and hanging with people during the day, which is great. But Comic-Con's really fun. And if you've never been and you haven't seen them, I've got 3 videos taking you through 3 days of walking around Comic-Con in lovely San Diego, which is one of my favorite cities in the entire country. Just it's perfect down there. It's easy to walk around. There was tons of people, but everyone was super happy to be back and take in all the nerd joy that came with it. So if you haven't, check out the videos. It's in my actor lifestyle playlist, and it's really fun because a lot of people haven't been there. You know, what's nice as an actor being invited down there, and the people that I know, it's, you know, having access to certain events and parties that are not really open to the public. So I kind of took you behind the scenes there and what that's kind of like as well. So really great time at San Diego Comic-Con. Really fun to be back, nerding it up with my pals, people I hadn't seen in 2 or 3 years pre-pandemic. So it was a good time all around. I haven't talked about this very much, but I did a film over the summer. It was a very, very highly stylized short film, and I can't say much about it, but it's a period piece with some real heavy hitters in it, and I had a blast playing a lead role. I can't tell you other than that we go back in time to the 60s, which is really fun for me to be able to do a period piece. So I'm going to share with you just a little behind the scenes shot of me just getting my 60s hair and makeup done, getting ready to shoot for the day. So this is a never before seen image of me, all neat and tidy, hair all slicked over and everything else too. So I don't even think I can tell you the name of this, unfortunately, but we should. I know that the director and the team they're really cooking on it. So hopefully it'll be out soon for all to see. I'm not sure what his long-term plans are. Obviously, the film turned out beautifully. We shot for 4 or 5 days on this. Really, really great material. Very inspirational. Very fun. Super fun period costumes. That's all I can show you is my undershirt and my hair kind of slicked over. And I can't give many more details today because I didn't get any clearance from our wonderful director. But we had a blast. It was really grueling. We were out in the Salt Flats in California. For those who haven't been, I think it was like July or August. We were roasting, man. We were in period costumes and we were roasting. It was 115. We're just full exposure under the sun for most of those days. And then we finished it off with a brutal night shoot that was super late, but epic and fantastic. Total zombie by the end of that shoot, but so worth it. And you're gonna love this. It's just beautiful. He's shown me some shots that he's gotten and some footage already, and it's just gonna come together nicely. So I don't often do short films. This was a super special exception from a director I'd been friends with for a long time, and this is a passion project he really wanted to do. And I said, absolutely, this is amazing. So hopefully details coming soon. I don't know. Stay tuned. Don't pump me for information. I don't have any. I don't have clearance from the brass, but that's something I shot last summer, kind of on the sly. And when I get permission, I took a whole bunch of videos because there's amazing set pieces, vehicles. The locations were incredible. So I took a ton of videos, and I hope to assemble them all into a YouTube video that you can all check out to join me in that fun filming experience. So that was last summer. What happened? Okay, then I got on a plane. And I went to EGX, the Electronic Gaming Expo over in London. So they, yeah, I did a video on this too. So most of you have seen this video. You know, some of the video game actors, my buddies again, Martin Copping, Jeff Tervainen, we got invited to go over to EGX, which is a big video game convention over in London. And we had a blast. Really, it was nice. You know, we played some of the Modern Warfare 2 beta, and with some of the people that had signed up to play with us, which is a lot of fun. Martin and Jeff Tervainen got like motion sickness playing the game, which was fun. So they didn't last very long, but it was wonderful to meet some fans. We did a really fun Q&A panel as well, talking about what it's like to be an actor in the video game space, voiceovers, et cetera, et cetera. So that was a really, really good time over there. So we did that in London. I got to meet so many, like Lottie, Faye, Rachel. Oh my gosh, who else was there visiting with us? Tommy Garachi, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by, buddy. I got to meet so many of the wonderful people here. I got to sign some cool stuff for people. Dorota, I don't know if she's here or not, but we had a blast. We all went and got some pints, at a UK pub. So we all had a really, really good time. They all wonderfully came in to support us and watch our panel and take some pictures and videos for us, and you know, sign some stuff up for everybody. But we had a good time at EGX London. They lost my suitcase. Both. I didn't get them until I was shipping out literally early Monday morning. I got them late Sunday night. So my first night at EGX, I was shopping at a local mall. So I took an Uber to a mall, and like, you know, I had nothing. Like I had no change of clothes. I had no toothbrush. I had nothing. So I spent my first night in London, sadly, hustling to get some clothes for the damn convention all week, because the bags just never came until the convention was over. So that was unfortunate, but we did have fun on that Saturday, having some pints and stuff like that with all you wonderful people who came down and supported and showed up. So anyway, that was London. Gave way immediately to skipping another plane over to Malta. And we all know what happened in Malta. What happened in Malta stays in Malta. It doesn't stay in Malta. This is no. I've jumped timelines. I got to back it up. 2022 is a good year. I can't even keep track of the cool stuff that happened. August, before EGX, Sniper Rogue Mission came out on video on demand, and many of you have seen it. And it was really fun. This was kind of like the Oliver Thompson show. Our director, writer, producer, he put his amazing stamp on this movie, a totally unique sniper movie, unlike anything we've ever done. People really seem to love it. And we did a live chat, and that's somewhere in the YouTube playlist as well. I did a live chat with Oliver and Ryan Robbins, my co-star who plays Zero. So anybody who missed that live chat can go check that out as well for some a great conversation we had for over an hour with those fellas. But this came out in mid-August and did really well. People seem to really respond to it. That was a blast. That was something we did in 2021, at the end of 2021, up in Winnipeg in Canada. And just wonderful Canadian actor co-stars. Dennis Haysbert came back in the fold. Lady Death kicked the crap out of me again, which is pretty standard. But yeah, shout out to all the Canadian co-stars who were wonderful. Fantastic city to film in as well. We had a blast up there. But this came out and everyone really loved it, which is really, really cool, because we that brings us up to, I put it in here. I might as well show it. There's me. That's me with Lady Death's rifle. So that's a fun still from the movie. But that came out in mid-August. And then I went to London in September, and then of course over to Malta for shooting on Sniper 10. What do I have to show? I don't have anything to show you from Sniper 10, really. I'm not really allowed to show you anything from Sniper 10. That's me in the street clothes in front of my trailer. That's about all I can show you in terms of the stuff we did over in Sniper 10. But I did do a really fun actor lifestyle video where We did a little day trip, me and the cast, and we got a really amazing guided tour of Mdina, which is the old capital of Malta. Malta's a tiny island. It's like 14 miles wide by 36 miles long. And it's a couple. It's like there's the main island, Gozo, and another little tiny island that comprises Malta, right smack dab in the middle of the Mediterranean there. But the walled city of Mdina was an absolute spectacle, super cool. Shot a lot of stuff there. Game of Thrones in particular shot there because it's just an epic location built in 1400. So I did a video, if anybody didn't catch that, of what the walled city is all about, which was really, really fantastic. Very, very cool, very medieval feeling. Really, it's just a city surrounded by friggin' castle walls, and it just epically big, beautiful church in the middle. So that was a really fun video I enjoyed putting together that people seem to dig. Visit Malta. It's a wonderful little country. We had a blast there filming Sniper 10. It's more in the same vein of Sniper Rogue Mission, but as they teased at the end of Sniper Rogue Mission, Dennis Haysbert, we've got Lady Death, we've got Zero, and we've got a bunch of other people now in the Grit team. So it's kind of like the Call of Duty Task Force 141, but we're the Sniper Grit team now, which is fun. So a lot of that cast was back, and we had a blast filming that. Usually they turn those around in 8 or 9 months. I know they've been cracking on it. I know they're working really hard on it. So summer 2023 is probably when we can expect Sniper 10 to come out. It won't be called Sniper 10. It'll be called something else. But 10 movies. I don't know if we've surpassed Fast and the Furious. We're neck and neck with them. But Sniper's going strong. Sniper 10 out this summer. That's what I did that fall. And yeah, so another cool thing that happened before the end of the year was Sniper Rogue Mission. Sony did a new deal with Netflix. And as part of that, our Sniper movies got what's called the second window deal. So we went domestically, and I think internationally too. Sony distributed our movie, Blu-ray, video on demand, rentals, etc., like that, and all the major platforms. So that was called the first window. That was the initial release. And then Sony did a deal with Netflix for what's called a second window deal. So after X amount of months, where Sony gets to put it out there, now Netflix takes over the rights and they get to put it on their platform. So they did a big deal like that. Our movie, which, our Sniper movies do make it on Netflix eventually, overseas and domestically, but usually it takes years because Sony's got their own output channels. And so this was a whole new deal and everyone was really excited about it. And I was just excited because even though we already did a release in the United States, it's like, well, it's another platform people subscribe to. It's very popular. This is just an easy way for them to watch the movie. Hope they dig it. Lo and behold, December 1st, by December 2nd, we were number 6 of most watched movies on Netflix, which couldn't believe it because we had some good company, a lot of movies with huge budgets, a lot of Netflix original movies that didn't have a premiere date, that weren't released in any other way. And we were hanging tough with the big boys and girls, which is incredible. And, it just blew our mind that we would go instantly top 10. So that's a huge testament to y'all for your support, which we appreciate greatly because the movie is really fun and it seemed to resonate really well. So we're like, oh man, what a nice flash in the pan. We got a day on the top 10 list. No, we got 9 days on the top 10 list of most watched movies on Netflix US, which blew our mind. It just kept going, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we got to like 9 or 10. We're like, okay, it was a good run. We had good 5, 6 days. No, back to 7, back to 6. So it was really fun to have that kind of staying power. Legs is what they call it. That's an industry term. That's like when a movie goes, to the theaters. How does it do week 1? How much money does it make? And like, can it maintain that momentum through week 2, week 3, whatever? If it does, if people keep showing up to watch it with not a sharp drop off rate, they say, well, that project had legs. Legs. What a concept, huh? This is an educational live stream as well as a year in review live stream. So that was really fun. That was awesome. I mean, the gang was so excited to be able to kind of squeeze the juice out of that and enjoy that ride. The people at Sony were thrilled. So, hopefully that continues. in that vein, I don't know. When we release Sniper 10, you know, Sony will put it out their way, and then maybe after 3 or 4 months, it'll start popping up on Netflix like this one did. I'm not sure what the deal is, but it was really fun to see. We kind of got to milk our movie twice, which is always a pleasure to be able to do, and to put it on a new platform for people to see it. So here's another still of me in a suit. That was cool with Rogue Mission. You got to see Brandon Beckett having a very short-lived career as an office stiff. That didn't go well, but it was fun to get the old Windsor knot tie suit sort of thing on. That was this might have been day one, I think, shooting these scenes with Dennis Haysbert. Dennis was there early in that shoot, and he like knocked out all the scenes in like 3 or 4 days, so we got to shoot our really fun scenes together in there. And this was the first scene that I shot on the movie, and it was a whole day with Dennis Haysbert, which is a pleasure. He's such a great guy. Really love Dennis, and super talented guy, and just smashes it as our grit team leader. So that was early December, and then I even got a nice surprise by mid-December, because my inbox blew up and socials blew up because this picture started popping up everywhere. I don't know. Now, this is Call of Duty. For those that don't know, I play Alex, Echo 3-1 in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and then Call of Duty Warzone, and then they brought my character over to Call of Duty Mobile. But there's a new feature in Call of Duty after Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which I was not in, called Raid. When Warzone 2 came out, they introduced in season 1 something called Raid, which was like a 3-person, I haven't played it yet, 3-person solve a bunch of puzzles, unlock the next part of the storyline type thing. So they teased that Alex has a last name, whatever that's worth, because he probably has a million aliases, Alex Keller, and that he was alive. You know, Farah, Captain Price, Gaz are on a mission, and the plot thickens. There's a radio transmission from Alex, and Alex is alive, buried somewhere in some tunnels. So they're on a quest to kind of find them. And so Raid Season 1 is you're kind of navigating this landscape, this labyrinth, to be able to get closer and pick up the clues of like what happened to Alex and where is he. So it's a bit of a Where's Waldo situation. Where's Alex in the raid? So this was really cool, and I honestly did not know that they were doing this, because this was just a teaser. You know, the picture of the character comes up on a laptop when our Kate Laswell is kind of mission briefing everybody. So this is a really fun thing, and a really fun way for me to end the year is to tease Alex is alive and out there, because I know a lot of people were sad and heartbroken that Alex was not in Modern Warfare 2, but we know that he's still alive now, and hopefully that he can be found, and that'll be revealed in more upcoming seasons. So this is a really cool cap to a really, really fun year for me in terms of, you know, being alive and well, maybe in the Call of Duty universe. So 2023 will be a fun year to see if that's true or not. But this is really cool and very exciting for me. I love playing Alex, but one of my favorite roles I've ever played in my acting career. So yeah, Call of Duty Alex, there he is. Look at his haircut. It's a little different than the Modern Warfare campaign. Looks like he grew his hair over his scars on the side of his head, maybe a little bit. Maybe he's getting a little self-conscious in his old age. I don't know. Anyway, really fun way to cap that year. So that was a pretty good year for me. I was on a plane a lot. I was out of town a lot. Got to work on some amazing projects. Got to see some really, really fun projects that I loved filming all come out, and y'all responded really well to that. So again, thank you very much always for the support, for watching, for circulating all the wonderful things that you do. And that's 2022 in a wrap. It was a good year. Did I miss anything? Oh, it's worth mentioning. When I was in Malta, I got a chance to go for a day to the Malta Comic Con, and I took a few pictures of that. Me and Ryan Robbins went down, represented our sniper film, and had a good time at the local comic convention there in Malta, which was pretty fun. I'm a huge nerd. I don't need to tell you all I'm a huge nerd. So going to any convention, even just to take it in, let alone appear, is always a blast for me. But we had a good time. We shook lots of hands, took lots of pictures. A lot of Call of Duty fans over there in Malta. So I was signing some Alex pictures and some copies of Modern Warfare and stuff like that too. So that was a good thing I failed to mention. But 2022 in the books, really good year. So this brings us up to 2023. We're in month 2 in 2023, which is, I don't know what's going on. January flew by, of course, like it does, as it does. And so we're in February. So there's a couple things I can share with you about this year. Chief among them is next week, actually. Jeez, what is today's date? The 4th. So 5th, 6th, 7th, I guess it's Tuesday. Tuesday is like standard release day for like movies and music and stuff like that. So a film I did in Nevis called 1 Year Off. And I do not have the any pictures or anything like that. There's been some pictures circulated, not a ton. I don't have a lot of information, but 1 Year Off is a romantic comedy that we shot in Nevis. That was the first movie I did down in the Caribbean in 2021. And then we followed that up with Assailant. They just rolled into another production down there. And I was lucky for them to have me back on the second one. But 1 Year Off is great. Natalie Cox, Jeff Fahey, so I got to play with him. Really great cast. Had a lot of fun. Very lighthearted, very snappy, very, very fun. Obviously, beautiful tropical setting. I didn't have to do any real stunts or get my arse kicked. As you saw from the trailer and the promos, I had lots of hair and very little shirts. But hey, I was like that every day. I wasn't filming anyway. I was literally living on a tropical island for 3 or 4 months. That was kind of my lifestyle. So 1 Year Off, I think Lionsgate is distributing it, and it's going the video on demand rental route. I don't know if there'll be a Blu-ray or anything like that. Unfortunately, I don't have any information about international releases, but I know here in the US, it'll be out Tuesday, I believe, the 7th. So check it out. I'll do some posts about it. I'll see what I can find from my producer friends and get some more information for you all out there. But I'm eager to see it myself. I haven't watched the final cut or anything like that, but it was a really, really fun role, playing more of a hunky dude. Just, you know, I got a lot of water on me in that movie. I was either coming out of the water like a poor man's Bo Derek from the movie 10, or rinsing salt water off me in like an outdoor shower. So yeah, if you've seen the trailer, you know, it was just kind of fun. You know, for me, it's like, oh gosh, I roll, but you know, show up and do it and just kind of embrace it. It was a really fun departure for me, playing some kind of a, you know, hunk on the surface, but there's of course more than meets the eye with my character Harry, and with my full head of hair, the character of Harry. The name speaks for itself. So I cut all my hair off after that movie, and I had much shorter hair for Assailant literally a couple of weeks later. So fun to get it on film and document that wild pandemic hair, but it was gone. Fun experiment for a while. So that'll be out on Tuesday. I'll make some more posts about that when I have more information here. So that's fun. That's what's coming out. Of course, I mentioned Sniper 10. What we filmed in Malta last fall. That should be coming out by this summer. I don't have any information on that yet, but hopefully that will be coming very, very soon. There's a movie I did at the end of 2021 called The Bunker. I have no information about that either. I'm not sure what's going on with that. And also, yeah, I'm in talks right now to do possibly an action movie with some pretty recognizable cast attached to it. I can't say anything about that. The deal is not closed. Not really sure, but I'm pretty excited about it if it goes and if it all works out. So hopefully we will be able to say something about that very, very, very soon. Joining the cast of this really fun script, this really fun movie that's coming out that we'll get cracking on. And other than that, I am going to make an appearance at the Albuquerque Comic Con. Is it called Duke City? Could be Duke City, something like that. Albuquerque. So that all just materialized really really quickly, my buddy Ryan Robbins, co-star Ryan Robbins, is going to come down there with me, which is going to be really, really fun. And Sniper Bros reunited. Agent Zero himself. And I think I saw the Casper Van Dien is going to make an appearance there too. So we'll hopefully he'll be able to make it, and all schedules will hold, and we'll be able to be there down in Albuquerque, New Mexico together, I think in June, mid-June, and take some fun pictures for you all, and maybe some videos and stuff like that too. So love those guys. And if they can both get there and my schedule holds, we'll have a good time in Albuquerque, mixing it up with the locals there and seeing what that con is all about. So that's what's on the docket for 2023 so far. I can't say anything about anything else. So I'm just going to do one of these if any questions come up about certain things. NDA lifestyle, yo. But that's it. 2022 was a really good year that I'm very grateful for. And 2023 is shaping up to look very promising, with some projects coming down the road and some fun releases. The Sniper movie in particular, which is going to be really, really fun. I'm excited for y'all to see. Rogue Mission turned out so well, but I think Sniper 10 is really going to, as we do, try to raise the bar on the action, the ha-has, and everything else too. So, and the location of Malta is just, it's phenomenal. Some of the coolest films, Gladiator. I can't, they did like a Napoleon movie there just before us. So really, really epic location to have as a backdrop for our Sniper 10 film. So more details on that when I have it, although probably not for several more months until we get some more clarity on that. So anyway, that's it. That's 2023. What I'm looking at so far. Things come up all the time. Hopefully I keep staying busy. Hopefully I have some more information about the period piece short film that I did last summer that I teased with the photo that didn't tell you anything. Other than that, I have very, very neat cropped hair. So that's something I'm excited for everyone to see too. I'm excited to see it myself. The director's pumped, and we'll see what his plans are for that too. So in the meantime, I'll try to get back into streaming some more. I did a little stream last night, just kind of playing around with this DMZ thing, and got completely annihilated by bots. But it's fun, and I hope to do a lot more streaming. I know that this season 2 is about to drop, and there's kind of like a Rebirth Island resurgence things coming, which is always really fun and friendly to do on player streams. So stay tuned for more of that. Thank you all for supporting my YouTube channel. Really trying to grow it, really trying to push towards monetization and becoming partner there, because YouTube just offers such really cool, unique features that I can't do in other places. And it's just a great place for me to share with you all so much more about what it's like to be an actor, and things I've learned in my acting career in terms of tips in the business and the career advice and stuff like that. But also just to be able to peel back the curtain and be like, hey, acting has its perks sometimes. Sometimes you get to go to Malta. Sometimes you get to go to sign some pictures at San Diego Comic Con or Malta Comic Con, or go to EGX and other cool places like that. So thank you all for watching those videos and supporting. I want to bring a lot more of them to you, so I'll keep hustling on that end. But that is it. I want to say hello to everybody and open it up to any kind of Q&A about stuff here. If you have any questions that I can answer, if I got to pull one of these, I'll pull one of these. But in the meantime, appreciate y'all taking some time on your Saturday to come join me and listen to me drone on and on and on about stuff. And we will open it up, and I'll just say hi to some people here. I think I saw Lady Macbeth. Hey, Miss Macbeth. How you doing? Thanks for popping in here. I tried to keep up with the comments while I was rambling here. But yeah, there we go. We got a question from Hamdam. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Hamdam. Christmas Cabin. Sammy said, what reindeer pooped in your stocking? Was it in the scenario? Yeah. That was a scripted line, actually. I play a character called Seth, who's a bit of a humbug type of character who doesn't really celebrate Christmas. And of course, she makes me see the light as we go on in that movie. But yeah, she has a great line, what reindeer pooped in your stocking, which is pretty fun. So props to the screenwriters of that for a really fun line for her. If you were offered a sports movie, what would you pick? I love sports. I do love sports. I really love. I mean, look, if there was an opportunity to do, something like boxing, I've always loved dabbling with some boxing on the side. Football is my favorite sport. American football. Sorry, I have to distinguish. We call it soccer over here. I don't want to offend anybody overseas, but American football is my all-time favorite sport. I'm probably a little too undersized to pull off playing a football player, but I do love it. I played it back in the day. Still got the injuries to show for it. It's a very brutal game. But being a part of a football movie would be a bucket list. I mean, that's like being a part of a World War II movie for me. So really, if there was a sports movie like that, I would jump at the opportunity to do it in a heartbeat. Rachel asked, could you do some affirmations, a video about becoming an actor? That's actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Rachel. That's something I had been thinking about for my next wave. And for those that don't know, I'm a big, spiritual guy, and affirmations. I believe, the power of mindset can really, really change your life. It changed mine. So I put some recorded affirmations out there for people to listen to. I think there's a playlist on my channel somewhere there. You can check them out. But Rachel's asking if there's anything specifically geared towards acting. I think that it would be really fun to do. There's some videos out there that that are affirmations for actors, questions to engage the law of attraction, videos out there, questions like that about acting specifically. So it's something I'm thinking about and putting some stuff together. I certainly do that for myself in my own time. But that's actually good to hear that you'd be interested in something like that. It's a little specific, but I think that I'd like to do it because I've been doing it for myself about acting in my career for a long time. What books am I currently reading? I'm reading, I'm reading a book. I'm reading books on taxes because I'm about to do a video on actors and taxes, which is a very complicated subject, but I've learned a lot doing those things for myself for the last 10, 12 years, whatever else. So just a little bit of an advice video for actors who are, putting together taxes as a self-employed independent contractor, which is, I don't want to bore you with the American tax stuff here, but I'm reading some of those books. Although I have a big Rolodex in my head. I'm reading Jordan Peterson's follow-up to his book, 12 Rules for Life. It's called Beyond Order, which is his follow-up book. I find Jordan Peterson's stuff to be very, very valuable. His work about responsibility and meaning and stuff like that is very inspirational. So I'm slogging through that book. He's a very intelligent, articulate, wordy guy. So it's taken me a minute. Scripts when they come in. What else am I reading? I don't know what else I'm reading. I've always got several books going at once, and then I try to finish them as well. I haven't read anything on the fantasy or historical fiction front in a while. I really should. I miss it. My Bernard Cornwell, who's my favorite historical fiction author, kind of ended the long series about Uhtred, The Last Kingdom. If anybody's seen that on BBC, he's like a 9-book series about that character in like 8th or 9th century Britain and stuff like that, and all the stuff that happens there. So he ended those books last year, so that was a heartbreaker. And all the other fantasy authors that I've gotten obsessed with during the pandemic is they haven't put out any new books. I was mostly catching up on their old books and universes and trilogies. So I don't know. I'll keep you posted on the book list, but I do love reading. I am a book nerd. What do we got? I am such a nerd, and I love it. Any plans for next audiobook? I don't have any. They did reach out about a project, but audiobooks are very tough and they're a little bit time consuming. So with other stuff I have going on, I couldn't make it work in my schedule. So I don't have any other audiobooks on the docket right now. John asks if you could reprise Logan Shepard in another CSI, would you? That was a fun role. He's talking about CSI Miami. I did a guest lead role playing a cage fighter, which was really fun. Fun little one-off episode. I don't know if they would bring that character back to the universe, but I'd do it in a heartbeat. That stuff's really fun. I like that opportunity to do those stunts. And you know, the fake cage fighting, although it didn't feel fake at times. I got my arse handed to me by a former professional MMA fighter in that episode, and had the bruises to show for it. Let's see. Any videos about your gym and health program would be great too. Good to know, Scarlett. I will. I will do that. Possibly down the road. What else we got? Yeah, Peterson's fantastic. I find him very inspiring and just very wise. Very wise. Would you ever play a superhero? Lynn Curtis. You ever play a superhero? If so, what superhero would you choose? My favorite superhero is, you know, I'm a big Punisher fan, Wolverine. I love the X-Men. So I don't know. X-Men universe, I always say Havoc, Cyclops' brother, because I just think it's more of a fit. Funny enough, my Lucas Till, who starred in the MacGyver reboot for CBS, I got to do a fun episode with him. He's a great kid. He's not a kid anymore, but compared to me, he is. But he got to play Havoc actually when they did the younger version of like X-Men First Class and stuff like that, which I thought was rad. We had some fun conversations about that. But I mean, look, it's superheroes. I'm open to any and all, whatever costume they want to, you know, jam me into with built-in padded muscle. I'm there for it. So I'm a big comic book nerd, as y'all know. So anything that foots the bill would make my heart sing. Bucket list stuff, comic books. Let's see. John read Sharp. Yeah, I haven't read the Sharp series. I'm more about the medieval historical fiction, but I know the Cornwell Sharp series are phenomenal. Lady Macbeth loves the Cornwell books. He did an amazing trilogy on the Arthurian legend, like 6th century Britannia. With Merlin and Lancelot, and just flipped the whole thing on its head and just like gave it the historical fiction, accurate names, locations, like rundown for that time period. Mind-blowing books. I think there's three books. Bernard Cornwell, Excalibur is one, Winter King, and then something else. Make this trilogy is my favorite book series of all times. I've read it 3 times. So Lady Macbeth here checked him out herself, which was super cool. Let's see. Predator franchise. Hey, listen, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here for it. I'm here for any franchise. Franchises are good. I don't practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, I've done a little bit of like rolling, mixed martial arts, but not at a high level at all. And for sure, I'd be twisted into a pretzel if I went up against somebody that knows what they're doing. Yeah, it's cool to see MacGyver and NCIS New Orleans are still airing. That's cool. CBS, those are syndicated shows, meaning, usually the goal for any television show, at least it used to be in the network cable model, is that you want to get to 100 episodes. From 100 episodes, you've got something you can sell to other networks for reruns and stuff like that. So I think both those shows hit syndication. And so the episodes, they just kind of farm out the episodes to other networks. And so they kind of air as like filler on those other networks. So those network shows have always been good to me, the CBS ones in particular. What acting methods do you use? How do you study a scene? That's a very deep dive question. I'm a Frankenstein's monster. I didn't, as you know, my story, I didn't come to LA to be an actor. I had no acting experience at all and no plans to be an actor when I moved to LA. So I picked it up as I went along. I took classes and really, I just jumped around a bunch of classes. I just kind of took what resonated with me and just kind of put my own thing together. And now that I've had so much onset experience, I'm grateful to have a pretty successful and ongoing career. It's really the tools are just kind of ingrained, in terms of breaking down a script, getting ready for an audition and stuff like that. But endless people to study with and learn from. But I don't have any. I'm not method. I'm not Meisner. I'm not any of these Stanislavski. I'm not any of these kind of classic conventional mold that Daniel Day-Lewis kind of fits into, or a Brando. So really, I came out here and I learned how to work in TV and film. I didn't come through an acting conservatory. I didn't go through the drama school, stuff like that. I just learned the technical know-how and how to work with material that was specifically geared towards television and film. That was the extent of my training, because that's what I wanted to do. So big question there, but I don't fit in any traditional box in terms of my training. I've been a rascal hopping around, learning from all sorts of great teachers all across Los Angeles, and kind of put together my own way of going about it. Let's see. Shikunaru. Hello to you. Thanks for stopping by. How you doing? Let's see. Any other questions here? D&D Masters. Yeah, I don't have any update on the Dice Cast Gaming. We're in a holding period. Jake Inunza, Inzunza. Fuck, I always miss his name. Sorry, Jake, if you're watching or will ever see this. That's kind of his show. So, as he does the heavy lifting because he's the dungeon master. So I don't know if that's going to come back around anytime soon. We really tried, but it's a beast to live stream D&D. It's a lot of moving parts. The great curse of D&D is schedule and getting people in the same place at the same time to be able to sync up. As you know, I tried to do a couple episodes like 4 a.m. over in Malta, just a complete zombie. So that's on hiatus in perpetuity. I'm not really sure. I don't have any updates, unfortunately, on that. We did have fun doing it. But I'm not sure how feasible it's going to be going forward, but I don't have any information. And when I get updated one way or another, I'll certainly let you know. How do you memorize? You have to memorize lines, paragraphs for the scenes. Oh yeah, you got to memorize everything. Yeah. And what's fun about acting is you to a certain degree have to memorize other people's lines too. You have to know when to come in on your lines and stuff like that. So it does involve quite a degree of preparation and memorization. There's nothing fancy to it. I'm just a repetitive guy. I just hammer them. I just repeat it, recite it. I have an audio app that I just play on a loop, my lines and stuff like that too. So, there's no real trick to it other than just putting in the work and getting them down as much as you can. But that just comes with the territory. Let's see. Scarlet, there's a D&D. I did a video on how to make a character in D&D. I really have not had much time to run my own games or even playing games. I'm playing one game a week now, just kind of anonymously online with some really, really fun players through the startplaying.games website. We're on like session 55. It's just my little escape once a week when we get there and play. And that's all I got for right now. I hope to play more in the future. And I really hope to bring some more live stream D&D because I love the game so much. It's just a bit of a rascal to get live for you all. But I'm going to explore some ways that we can try to make that happen. I think Juliet. I think that Oliver Thompson is doing all the music again, probably for Sniper 10. I love the music in Sniper Rogue Mission. He did all that himself, and the band that he has, and he composed it all himself. I thought it was really unique and very, very fun, very Tarantino vibes, which I really, really, really dug. Let's see. Faye says a lot of books are being released to do the story of Frankenstein. Current book of the month in my shop is called Cleopatra and Frankenstein. Oh, wow. That's fun. That's interesting. What a great character. Frankenstein, classic character. Of all of the many people who played Frankenstein, and there are some great ones, it was fun to do a little TV episode playing Frankenstein myself. It was one of my favorite roles I've ever done from Once Upon a Time. How is the great actor as you? How do you feel? I don't know how to answer that question. A great actor is generous. I'm a working actor, which is I'm grateful for that, and I wouldn't say anything beyond that. Acting is a business like everything else, and the more you know and learn about the business, the greater you can increase your chances to hopefully find more success and parlay work into more work, and that's part of the game. That's part of the hustle. But every year's different. I just went through like 2022. That was totally different than 2021. 2023 is going to look totally different than the year before that. I've had years where I haven't worked at all. Those are terrifying years. But hopefully those are in the past. We keep finding ways to work in this town. So Rachel's taking the acting journey. So she's doing some scene study workshops. That's fantastic. They're great. I mean, look, any training is useful as an actor. The more you do, you can't not go to the gym and expect to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. So the more you show up for class and train and take it seriously and commit yourself, it's like anything. What you get into, what you're going to get out of it is what you put into it. So the more you put into it, obviously you're going to fast track yourself to get something out of it. That's right, White Dragon. White Dragon is the fictional band in the Sniper universe that Oliver created. So when those rad, like Dio-inspired metal tracks come on, that's all Oliver's genius, the White Dragon genius, which is a really fun Easter egg they're putting in the movies now. Improvised dialogues. That rarely happens in TV and film. Sometimes they want you to go a little free and loose. You can sometimes have conversations with directors and writers if they're collaborative, to be like, hey, I think this fits the character a little bit better, or what do you think about this? I don't often do that. I really try to honor the words on the page. People work very hard to come up with those specific words for their characters. So, but sometimes in the right situations, you can have a little a discussion for just a better scene, a better overall product, a better movie. But I've not always been asked to improvise very much dialogue. Sometimes I'm trying to remember anything there specifically, but yeah, a lot of improvised stuff doesn't always make the final cut and the final edit. Like Sniper Rogue Mission, for example, Josh Brenner, who plays Intelligence Pete, is really highly improv trained. So in the moment, he's just on it. And so they had him just go nuts, the way he would just lean into his character and come up with all these improvised lines and stuff like that to play off of. He's got some really hilarious moments in that movie, but, there's not room for all the different funny things. Otherwise, it'd be a 30-minute Intelligence Pete, interlude, which would be fantastic. But they don't always make the final cut. But it is fun when you get a chance to do that. You have to do your own stunts. I do predominantly my own stunts. Yeah. I actually had this has been a recurring thing for me. Had a chipped tooth doing stunts in Malta, and that happened on a show called Last Resort, where me and a stuntman were tussling, and I'm supposed to resist and go to my knees as he's got me around the throat, and I went down as he was pulling up, and he just kind of cranked me here and just took a huge chunk out of two of my teeth. And once you start doing that, it's just a Bondo and duct tape session at the dentist, just kind of putting fake parts, to make your teeth look whole again. So that happened again on Sniper. And, that's the downside of doing stunts. They can go wrong. But, I do most of my own stunts. I really enjoy it. I like the physicality of action movies. So it's tough. A lot of the choreography, Sniper Rogue Mission, you saw some pretty heavy duty fighting with like me and Lady Death, and then me again with a wonderful actor named David McGinnis up in Winnipeg, who played one of the heavies. And we rehearsed those for hours and hours and hours. And just because you want to be prepared so you don't accidentally whack each other and knock each other's teeth out. So, but sometimes it happens regardless. But I do enjoy it. I have doubles in some of the projects, the lower budget ones, not usually, because I am capable of doing it, but it is exhausting. It's really rewarding though. It's very fun. I like to film action sequences, and I tend to do almost all of my own stunts as much as they'll let me. Let's see. Maria, I'm sorry. I do not speak the Espanol, so I don't know. Momento actor I know. Como. I'm not sure what that is. If someone could translate that for me, I'd be happy to try and answer that question. But I only speak the Queen's English fluently. How many projects you set to do this year? Thank you, Hamdam. So yeah, whatever I gave you on the rundown for 2023 is what's going on. 1 Year Off comes out on Tuesday, which is a fun rom-com. And I can't say much else about other things. I'll let you know if this movie materializes, that we would shoot this spring sometime. Sniper 10 will be out this summer. And I don't think I have anything else that I could share on that sort of stuff. Let's see. That's right. Redmond didn't last very long. Last Resort on ABC. That show didn't last very long. But my character Redmond, yeah, he got done dirty pretty quickly. Let's see. Do you study the work of other actors for drama, action, comedy, or do you have a specific role models in each genre? That's cool. I actually mentioned that in the last video I did about, 5 things to consider if you're starting an acting career. is watching TV and film and watching other actors, especially the ones you gravitate towards or that you have a similar energy as. I just think that's a huge part of it, to be able to watch what they do on camera, these masters at work. So really big part of what I do. I've always loved Brad Pitt going back, before Fight Club, Legends of the Fall. Like, he's just a fantastic actor. And so I'll watch anything Brad Pitt's in. I try to anyway, because I just find him to be a really great actor. And there's a bunch of actors like that I love to watch. Fassbender is really great. Anything Christian Bale does is incredible. But those guys do such amazing character work from a totally different school of acting. Really, really always stuff you can learn from them and steal from because they're masters. So I really do try to watch a lot of actors that I'm a big fan of. Let's see, Actors Gym. All right, Rachel's, yeah, rock and roll, Rachel. Get that training. Connect with other actors. That's what's really fun. Connecting with other actors is really, really fun. Oh, it was Portuguese. I'm not sure if that's a question still. Do you still feel nervous if you're auditioning for a role? You know what? You don't need to, because everything has been recorded. Auditions are now done at home. When I came up acting the first 10, 15 to 12, whatever years, you'd have to go into a casting office with real people and they recorded you doing your thing. So that was a little nerve-wracking because you got a waiting room full of actors. You can kind of hear what the heck someone else is doing through a thin door in some rented office, retail, commercial space. And so those are when you'd get the butterflies. You just kind of get that performance anxiety because you're doing it live, you're doing it in person. You want to bring your best foot forward, but there's a lot of factors. Sometimes there's noise, an ambulance goes by. Other people are outside listening to you, or you meet someone that in the waiting room, and then you get distracted when your job is to kind of come in there and perform. So that was really nerve-wracking, auditioning in person. But everything is moved to basically taping at home, self-tapes they call them. I have a callback on a video game project they like me for. Callback means I did an audition for it, send it along, via email. And now producers, directors, writers, they want to get on a live Zoom and see me perform the scenes while they give me some directions and some notes and stuff like that. So that's called a callback. So it's a second audition. And so I have to set up a Zoom call to do a live remote callback audition for people on a Zoom screen, which is a very tricky technical thing to do, but I'm doing that next week. But I have not had an in-person audition since like 2019, before everything changed around the world. So, so you don't get nervous because, you film with a friend and you can do as many takes until you feel like you get it right. That's the advantage of it. The disadvantage of it is it takes a while. Set up, technical, edit it yourself, upload it yourself, email it off yourself. So that's part of the pain in the butt. That used to all be done for you when you could audition in person. Online class. I don't think I'm qualified to teach anything about acting technique. Last movie or show you. I'm so behind on movies and shows. I did binge Peaky Blinders final season 5 or whatever it was when that came out. That was a while ago. I'm really behind on just about everything that matters, sadly. A lot of catching up to do. I don't know that I'll do an acting workshop. Again, there's so many great teachers offering great stuff and advice out there. I don't know that I'm going to throw my hat in that arena at this point here. What kind of movie would you still like to make? I've had a more of a fantasy medieval project in development for a while. It's been on and off again, but swords, knights. I mean, this is my bucket list stuff. That's, the fantasy nerd stuff is what I'm really, really, really into. So hopefully that happens one of these days. Didn't happen when I had the long hair, but maybe it won't matter. CGI, VFX CGI. Yeah, there's not a lot of live fire that I've discovered on sets anymore. in terms of weapons and stuff like that. It's so easy to kind of VFX that, and it's very tricky when you have even blanks. There's a lot of hoops you got to jump through, just not just for safety on set, but just getting them there, especially if you're in another country. It becomes a very, very tricky thing. It used to be the standard, but with VFX and CGI, to be able to add in those sort of effects is really not that big of a deal anymore. So the muzzle flares and stuff like that. So that's become pretty much standard now. Yeah, but you do have to just give the little kickback. You have to fake it a little bit, especially with a sniper rifle, which is a big kick on those horses. Taylor Sheridan, yes. I like Taylor Sheridan as an actor. I used to love a show called Sons of Anarchy. He had a recurring role over many, many seasons on Sons of Anarchy. And he was just a working actor, just struggling, year to year, like so many actors are, working middle class actor. And he just said, heck with it, I'm going to write. And, that gave way to some amazing films that he wrote that got picked up. I love his films, Sicario, and he's done a bunch of great films that I've loved watching. And, obviously Yellowstone, he created the Yellowstone universe and stuff like that. So it's real grit, real Americana feel. I love that stuff. Huge fan of Kevin Costner, who looks like my dad, which is super cool. I think I auditioned for Yellowstone once back in the day, but nothing's kind of come back around for that. But I actually just subscribed to Paramount Plus so I can binge Yellowstone at some point, because I know I'd love it and I don't know what I'm waiting for. But I do love Taylor Sheridan's projects very much. Yes, we need me as a knight. I need me as a knight. Then I'll retire forever. Werewolf Project, no updates on that, sadly. Yeah. Movie making affect your workout schedule. Do you still work out if you have 10, 12-hour days in your shoots? Honestly, I scale back. These shoots are usually so involved and so long. The days are so long, and you're doing stunts and physical stuff anyway. So I just do a lot of training in advance, and then I just try to sneak in a workout here and there to like maintain stuff when I'm working every single day on set. Doing the work in advance I think is the most important part. Just getting the body right to make sure that you're gonna thrive on set and be able to deliver on the action front and look the part, of course, too. So that's a good question. But yeah, I do tend to scale back just because you don't want to overexhaust yourself. It's hard enough to film 5, 7, 8, 10 pages, do a full day of fight choreography, and then still go and try to cram in an hour-long intense workout. So I don't kill myself on that front. So I do as much as I can in advance to get ready so that I can just focus on the acting of the project when I'm there, because time does become scarce real quick on these films. Where did I learn my combat training? I don't know that I really have any hardcore combat training. Weapons, stuff like that, stuff I picked up from childhood all the way through and working with some people out in LA. And of course, on set, a lot of technical directors will walk you through a bunch of stuff like that. I've always liked dabbling in boxing and kickboxing and mixed martial arts. So, and I've always played sports my whole life. So that physicality kind of comes from there. You have a ritual before recording your scenes. Yeah, I sacrifice a small animal to the casting gods. No, I'm kidding. I don't. That's a joke. I hope this video doesn't get deleted. No, I don't have any real ritual. I try to do just some mindset work. Just having appreciation and gratitude in advance for the opportunity. Let it go. Have fun. Do what I do. Bring what I can to the character, and just that's the tricky thing about actors and mindset is. One role, one part in a film or a TV show could change your life. And I know that messes with so many actors' heads because you audition, you get told no 20 times, 30 times, 40 times, 50. Sometimes you get told, look up Mark Ruffalo's story, where he auditioned 1,000 times and didn't book any parts and was about to quit. And then he just got that one part that kept him going, and there's so many actor stories like that. So the greatest thing you can do as an actor in a mindset is to not be attached to the outcome, which is very, I suppose, Buddhist non-attachment sort of thing, which is very difficult to do. But that's the mindset I've developed for myself, just to not get attached to the parts. not get attached to the outcome, not get attached to booking the job. Just do it for the sake of doing it. Have fun, do your best work, put it forward. Let the universe, God, whoever you believe in, sort it out. And if it's yours, it's yours. If it's someone else, it's someone else's, and be grateful either way. So mindset is a really, really tricky thing, because you're putting you forward. So I get why actors, it's really hard to disconnect. Oh, they didn't like me. They rejected me. It's like, well, they rejected 200 other people too, in most cases. So it's really tough to get a yes when you do. It's chef's kiss, but to not be attached and let that drive you crazy is the mindset work an actor has to do if they're going to last in this industry. Let me see. If you could write a book, what would it be about and what genre? Oh man, I don't even know. Fantasy book would be fun to write, but I ain't got time for that right now. I've always wanted to write a book, basically doing what I'm doing now, which is putting out acting advice and what I've learned over the course of my career from my unique experiences. I've always thought about doing a book back in the day, but I'm like, I'm going to just put it up on the YouTube for everyone to enjoy and reach a bigger audience. And then maybe I'll fold it all into a book one day and put it out there for actors as sort of a little bit of a handbook. But that'd be fun to explore, but no rush on that. The YouTube videos are very time consuming, so I don't have time for all that. Yeah, got to have a reel, Rachel. It's good. Could there be a Dungeons and Dragons movie or show someday? I'm into it. Obviously, I think it makes sense. So far, Paramount hasn't called me though. Bucket list would definitely be a night movie, medieval movie, superhero movie. To be part of those universes would float my boats. Simple Mills endorsement. I don't think it's ever coming, John. I just don't think it's ever coming, despite the thousands I've spent on their products. Maybe one day. I don't know. Yeah, D&D TV show in development. For me, it's like, I'm not picky. I grew up on 80s and 90s cartoons, so to do voiceover work for one of these, fun shows that I grew up with, whether it's like a G.I. Joe or D&D or a fantasy show or some video game property, voiceover stuff is so fun. And hopefully I'll get a chance to do something like that. Growing up on, G.I. Joe and Thundercats and Ninja Turtles and X-Men and all those wonderful cartoons that came from that era. Simple Mills, push it. For those who don't know, Simple Mills is a wonderful company in America that makes like paleo and keto friendly, like alternative snacks, like crackers, cookies, and, pizza dough mixes and cupcakes and cake mixes and stuff like that. So I'm a huge fan because I don't eat traditional grains or eggs or butter and all the wonderful stuff that goes into making a fantastic cookie. So Simple Mills floats my boat because they have paleo diet friendly alternatives to stuff. So I'm always eating them. Anybody I turn on to them can't believe they're not the real thing. So we have an ongoing joke that we need to get sponsored by Simple Mills because we talk about them so much when I'm Twitch streaming. So far, the sponsorship has not come. I'd love one day to be like, this stream is brought to you by Simple Mills. I don't know if that day will come. We will see. That's right, Rachel. Do the audition, move on to the next. I'm looking at the time here. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you people are still with me, listening to me drone on here, but we'll wrap it up in the next few minutes. I just want to give everybody their airtime and answer any final questions here before we end the broadcast. What do you challenge and follow your diet? You get tempted by different food when you're in other countries? I don't. I just know that if I step outside of the diet that works for me, I'm going to feel terrible. So, you can kind of force that on yourself in your 20s, but at my ripe old age, doing the fun food that I know are just going to wreck me, it's just not worth it. It's better to be cold turkey and have none of it than to suffer a day or more of just complete distress. So it's not really that hard for me. And I'm quite happy with steak and other such simple foods that I've come to love so much. So I look at food as fuel. I rarely eat food for, pleasure and the emotional eating and stuff that can be tricky for a lot of people. I don't. It's fuel. Like, does it serve my diet? Am I going to meet my goals with this sort of thing? Is it going to keep me energized and feeling light and ready to go? So it's never really too tough. If someone has real pizza around me, I just take a good waft, I take a good whiff, and that's good enough for me. Let's see. Anyone else? Julia, manifest. All about the manifestation. Yeah, Jake Stormone. John B. Let's talk about Jake Stormone. Extinct. That was a really fun show we did for BYU TV. So sad it only went one season, but Jake did a really fantastic job acting as that character, Duncan. And Extinct, we all had a blast up in Utah together. A really, really great group of people. But yeah, Jake's on to bigger and better things. He did The Outpost for many seasons, and now he's directing the return of his Mythica franchise. So awesome to see him streaming and really, really thriving. Great dude, and always happy for his success, John. Let's see. Hamdam, thanks for coming by. Everyone, thanks for coming by. Ana Paula, I do hope to get down to Brazil one day. So many wonderful Brazilian people supporting me, and to be able to do a convention down there or something would be an absolute blast. Really would be a lot of fun. So who knows? You know, when it's right, it's right. When it happens, it happens. But in the meantime, sending all you Brazilians love from afar. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up. I think I got to everybody's questions. Thanks, everyone, for popping by and joining me on this YouTube adventure. 2022 was a great year. I know a lot of you were able to see a lot of the projects I was in, so I appreciate your support always. 2023 is going to bring some fun stuff. Another sniper movie. If I'm lucky enough to meet some of you stateside in Albuquerque and the convention there, I would love the opportunity to do that. Hopefully we have some more information about the short film, the period piece short film I teased earlier. Hopefully everyone finds Alex Keller, Echo 3-1 in the raid and the ongoing Call of Duty content. We'll see what that yields. We'll see how that unfolds. And of course, if people can find them, then maybe I can talk a little bit more about things. So in the meantime, I'm hoping you are all off in running on a great 2023 yourselves. Thanks for making the time. Thanks for all the support on social medias and everything else. I hope to be streaming on Twitch some more as they release some more fun Call of Duty content. Link back up with the wonderful players and do some player streams and find, of course, Lethal Ted to show me the ropes on how to win at Warzone. So anyway, thanks everybody for stopping by. Hi, HH Gen K, Tanya. I'm wrapping up right now. Thank you for popping in, though. I didn't get to say hi to you earlier. Anyway, thank you very much, and we will see you on the next one. Happy February and happy Saturday, all. Be well.